Hey there, welcome to Lost Creek. My name is Scott, and today we are finishing up part 2 of the winch mount build for my 1988 Jeep YJ. For those of you who are just joining, what we're doing is building a custom mount for a 12,000 pound Ramsey winch for my 1988 Jeep YJ. It was a tight fit, but last episode we got to really refine that and get it all kind of mocked up on the Jeep, and now what we're going to do is finish that all up and paint it and make it look pretty, and then mount it for the final time on the Jeep and give it a test. Stay tuned. Okay, here's what I've knocked together for the back brackets, or for the back support of the winch. So I started using some pretty thin steel, thinner than this, and then actually started using some of the cast-offs that I used when I cut apart this winch housing here. I got that, which is really nice and thick. So that's what I've come up with, and then I'll bolt it down to that piece of angle. Excuse me, I'll weld all that together, and then I'll weld it here to that angle, and then I'll bolt the angle to the frame itself. So on the other side, I've got the same thing. It's all just kind of sitting there right now. That's actually just sitting there. But you could see, and I'll gusset it. I'll probably gusset in there and in there, right? And just make it real strong. But that's my plan for now. Good enough plan. I'm going to tack it together, and once I get it to a place where I feel it's strong, I'll actually disassemble the whole kit, the whole winch mount, and then take it off and then bench weld at 220, because I'll tack it at 110, and then with my machine I can do 110 and 220, and I'll actually burn it in hot with 220 so that I have a really strong connection. Okay, I had one of my tack weld here broke over on the other bench where I was burning everything in with the 220. And I wanted to show you guys what this actually looked like without the winch on it, right? So it basically comes up off here, spans this entire, comes up off the frame, spans this entire grill area, and then goes back and attaches to the frame. And this is really heavy steel. It was part of the original winch mount. So this is what's holding the back of my winch up. And like I said, I will gusset in those corners there to make that real strong. But I wanted to give you guys this view because this isn't something you saw before. Just like that, we're back. It's all welded up. There's that seam's all nice and cleaned up now. It's welded on both sides. That is never going anywhere. So the plan is to get this cleaned up today. Get it all cleaned up. I don't think I need to do any cleaning on the welds. They look great. Drill my holes and take the winch, which is sitting over near the freezer there. And take the winch. I'm going to mount it to this, and then I'm going to get it mounted in the get it mounted up to the Jeep. That should hold it in place while I then continue to work on the brush guard itself. All right, it's all painted. Like I said, I was just going to spray it, spray paint. So I got this all painted. It looks nice. Again, it's really kind of hidden. You won't really see it, so it looks about as good as I care. But I got all sides. I got, I didn't want it to rust at all. And then I found a burrito. I found some nice hardware, so grade 8 lock nuts on it and stuff like that. So I'm going to use that. I already checked it. Cleaned up the front end just a touch, and there was a couple of spots where I scratched the heck out of that grill. But again, that plate goes up against that grill, and then the whole, obviously, you know, the winch goes right in front of it. So you're not really going to see it. So clean that up a little bit. That's about as much as I wanted to put into it. But once I put the winch on that bracket, once I put the winch on that bracket, it's probably not coming off again. So this will be the final install of that back bracket and the winch, and then I'll finish working on that, and that will go on afterwards. Look at that. All right. Boy, I'll tell you what, man. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. Now, this, you know, out of the million things that don't work, this one worked. So yeah, look at that. That fit outstanding. Popped right on, as you guys saw. Now I'm going to run those bolts through it. All right, quick glance here. Just a nice bolt, lock, nut, it threads. I mean, these bolts literally are the perfect size for this application. I can't believe I had them just sitting in my spare parts bin. So there it is, and it's strong. So pretty pleased. Now we got to go and finish working on the front piece. Hey guys, if you like this kind of content and you enjoy working in the garage, some painting, some welding, some plasma cutting, general wrenching on vehicles and whatnot, please consider liking and subscribing to my page. I would truly appreciate it. And then that way you'll get notified anytime a new video comes out. And my job is to continue making videos and make them more interesting and edit them better. Hopefully you'll stay tuned. A lot of fun things coming this year. Now this piece, all right, this piece is a little different. So I'm going to burn a real hot weld in there. I'm going to put essentially another piece of flat stock across the top there, creating essentially, for lack of a better the ability to give you a better description, basically making an I-beam out of that to make that so that it will not flex right in and out. I don't know. I hope I'm making sense here, but I want to put a little I-beam across the top there, and then I'm going to do another panel that I'll show you here in a little bit. But first I want to weld in this center section real good. Okay, so my plan is to take this piece of steel and put it across the top like that. And again, I'm creating that kind of that I-beam. What I don't want is I don't want this bar, this plate to flex at all, because the winch is going to be pulling on that, right? So I don't want it to pull this way. I mean, I don't want it to bend. So I'm going to put a plate connecting here. That's next. But this is my little, let's call it the I-beam maneuver, by just taking this piece of heavy steel, again, from the original chassis for the winch, and just weld that in there to kind of give it that extra little strength. All right, so I finished the top piece here, welded it on the back real nice, welded up here in the front in that little groove. Now, I said I wanted to put something here. I don't want to block this piece too much, because there is a little airflow that goes underneath here, but I think I'll do maybe, let me hold it there. Okay, yeah, like that right there, and I'll weld that in. And that, what that does is that's going to make it, again, strong, and it's not going to interfere with the winch operation. To fit the winch in here, you guys remember, I had to cut out this whole section right here, which was all big. It was basically more of this tab here, and it spanned across the whole thing. Well, the winch fits right in there, so I needed to clear that out. But I also left myself a little short in my mind of what I want it mounted to the frame itself of the Jeep. So it bolts here, here, and then on the other side, right? Top and bottom bolts, big bolts. But what I want to do is I want to reinforce this. I think I'm going to come across here with a piece of steel, right? And just reinforce this, because I think it'll actually make that just a little bit stronger. It's pretty damn heavy duty metal anyhow, but you know, let's finish this up right. All right, to give you guys a good idea about what I was intending to do, right? So I cut these triangles and I'm going to weld it right in there like that, right? It looks better. So there's that. And I'm going to do this on this side. On this side, right, which is the side where all the gears are on the winch, I can only do it on this side and not on this side because the winch comes right in here. And then on the other side of this bumper, I can do both sides with the triangles. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so here's the bumper and the grill guard. It's all black. I'm not in love. I don't like it. I mean, it's okay. But the last time I did it, I used bedliner material made by Rust-Oleum, came in a spray can. So I just ran out to the store to go get some because I'm like, screw it, I'll do it again. And I found this, right? So here, we can focus in on that. There we go. It's a bedliner made by Raptor, and I've used Raptor liner in the past, and I liked it. I've used Raptor. I actually did a whole Jeep with it one time. I'm not sponsored or anything. I mean, I'm just trying it out, and I'll let you guys know. But I figured, what the hell? I've never used it out of a spray can before. I actually used their spray gun. So we're going to try Raptor liner, spray it on this, see how it works, see what it looks like. Wish me luck. Well, I meant to film it, and I didn't. But yeah, look at that. This stuff actually sprays real nice. The coating's pretty even. I like this. It actually hides a lot of sins, which is perfect for me, right? Because, I mean, it wasn't the most beautiful bumper ever, so this just kind of hid a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I'm impressed. I liked it. I'd use it again. All right, wired it up to the battery. Heck yeah. right, it is 100% together and working. I'm done. That came out pimp. Look at that. Anyways, super, 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 super crazy pleased. For you guys, it only took, however long this video was. For me, this took a couple of weeks. So we're all wired up. Our brackets are proper. I've got everything bolted down. The fair lead is mounted. Everything's bolted down with grade 8 hardware except for the fair lead. I need to swap those out. But yeah, it's all done. And it looks kick-ass. Well, guys, I tell you what, I'm pretty pleased with the way that came out. I didn't spend any money on this build. Everything I had, or everything I used, I had before. The winch I had, I used a lot of recycled steel that I had kicking around. I didn't even, actually that's not true. I think I bought a couple of grade 8 bolts. Point is, I didn't have hardly any money into this, and I have a very stout winch on this Jeep. Probably overkill, but I like it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. I hope the new format, you like it. It's coming along. I'm gonna get better at these as I progress. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was a little bit informative. I didn't go through a whole lot of explanation on it because I was just figuring a lot of this stuff out myself. But thanks again for joining, and we'll see you next time on Lost Creek.